Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What's it called? Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But if
Kermit,
you're saying
like
not
the
to
frog?
do...
Yeah,
Wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy.
My wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Kermit and Friends. I'm Elisa. This is Fozzie, and Kermit is watching from heaven. Okay, this is my birthday show. It's supposed to be a happy show. Everything's going great, right? What could go wrong on my birthday week, right? Oh, I'm getting a call.
Anonymous fan Claire.
Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hi, Elisa. It's Claire.
Hi, Claire. Thanks for calling in.
Sure. Listen, I guess it looks like the arrest thing is for real. I'm sorry to be a doubting Thomas, but, I just don't have a lot of faith in things that trap house people say. I just hope he'll be okay. I hope you're going to be okay. And let's get Andy out of there as quickly as we can. Of course, the reason why I wanted to call in today is just to sing a quick happy birthday to you. May I do that?
Yes, but Claire, people might have no idea what you're talking about. You have to set up,
I pretty much figured everybody knew that, you had shared the news and Leaf King had shared the news that somehow last night Andy Dick was arrested, and apparently it had something to do with beating up Lucas or getting into a fight with him somehow.
Yeah. So that is true.
Don't have a lot of details other than, from that Vine thing, you did confirm that he is in fact incarcerated, and you've confirmed that the official amount of the bail is $50K. I don't know what the very latest is. So do you have anything beyond that?
So I've been speaking with a lot of people about this. This is a new thing for me. I've never really dated someone in jail before. I'm trying to think back if I've ever dated someone in jail.
Probably not.
I don't think so. Yeah, Benji was never in jail. Yeah, no one really. So yeah, this is a new thing for me, and it's very odd because actually one of our guests today is Fallon McNeil, who wrote a book about having a spouse that's incarcerated. Okay. And I don't know how this happened. This just makes me believe in God even more, Claire, because
Elisa, that is what I would call a low probability event. In other words, That is completely wild. That synchronicity there's a science behind how these things happen, but we just don't understand it. But I understand when you say that type of coincidence makes you believe in God. I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Erica. Erica is the one that booked Fallon for the show. And I was saying to Erica, there's no way that we would have known that Andy would be in jail right now. There was no way. Yeah. I mean, he should have been in jail, but I didn't think he'd actually be in jail. And I mean, it was just the worst week with him. It was getting worse and worse and worse. And just every day there was some kind of problem. And there were signs that this was going to happen. But, I was planning my birthday week. I had all these things planned. My mom's coming into town.
Right.
I was nervous about that. Birthdays are actually a lot of pressure, but then when you add, jail time to that week, it becomes even more pressure. So I'm going to be talking to Fallon about this. She has experience in this. How do I deal with it? I was on the phone with several officers talking about the bail. I'm not really inspired to pay any bail right now, Claire. I'm not.
That might be the safest thing to do, because you know what? Andy's in probably the safest place he could possibly be right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. In fact, I kind of felt relieved that he was there, because I got a call a few nights ago from a guy that was at an ATM for Andy at like 3 a.m. The guy did not sound good. I said, get away from that ATM right now. Why are you doing that? You're enabling him. And I was just furious at that guy. And a lot of the people that are around Andy, I think, are more dangerous than people that are in jail. I feel like in jail, he's very safe. They'll feed him. He'll be okay. I feel
he'll get 3 square meals a day, and he won't be influenced by any creepy trap house people.
Yeah. So it was kind of a relief. I mean, I am sad that I don't get to talk to him, but actually the night that he went to jail, we went out to dinner. We went to this really nice steakhouse, and, he invited 2 or 3 guys, of course, as usual. And he was in rare form that night. It was really bad. He stole cutlery. He stole some wine glasses. He stole plates. He asked for a doggy bag that he could put all that in. And I said, Andy, I really, you don't need this. Why do you need those plates? Why do you have to do that? Why? And he just had to do it. Everywhere he goes, he brings things with him, right?
Oh, and also you might want to go back to that restaurant at some point.
Exactly. And then he was hitting on this waitress so heavily. And I said, Andy, what happened? I thought you were gay. What happened to that? Like, why are you hitting on this waitress? He goes, you're so hot. I want to put you in a movie. That's what he said to the waitress. And he goes, I really want to fuck you. And he's gay, but then he's not gay at the worst time. So he was hitting on the waitress. And then I said, Andy, please come home with me tonight. Please sleep over at my place. Please, I'm begging you. And he refused, and he ran off with 3 guys.
Oh my
God.
God.
I just knew that night wasn't going to end well. He did get into a fight with Lucas. There was a chair involved, a metal chair. And then Lucas was at Cedars-Sinai, and I saw pictures. I saw videos. It's not good. And it just was going in a very bad direction. And so he is safe now. So we can breathe a sigh of relief that we don't have to worry that he's going to die today. I think he will live.
Well, actually, that's the good thing. I mean, that's the good thing about this. Even though he can't be with you for the rest of your birthday week.
Yeah.
I think you're right about the bail. I'm not sure who's going to come to his rescue in terms of the bail. Mm-hmm. Maybe somebody else is going to come and pay the bail. But right now, like you said, he's safe.
Yeah, I feel like he's more safe than ever before. He was staying in a hostel this week because he got evicted. So he got evicted from his apartment. Then he moved to a hostel. He brought 11 people to the hostel, and he got kicked out of there. And then I get a call from him, and he says, come to Cantor's Deli. It's like a nice Jewish deli, right? I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to go to Cantor's Deli. We're going to have a nice lunch. That is not why he invited me. He racked up an $87 bill. For all his friends there, 8 at Cantor's. None of them could pay the bill. None of his friends have any money at all. So he was calling me to pay the bill. And that's the kind of situations I've been in recently. And I know when I talk to Fallon later, there's warning signs about people. There's more. It doesn't just happen out of the blue. Like when I heard that he was in jail, I wasn't that surprised. I mean, I was in the dog park when I got the text. And I was at the dog park.
Who actually notified you? Who texted you to tell you that what had happened?
So it was Eric. It was Andy's fake son. Andy has a fake son named Eric. I was told that it was Andy's son at first, and I believed him for a few months, but then I found out that's not his son. His name is Eric. He's an artist. He lives with Andy, and he texted me, Andy jail. And I thought it was a joke at first, but then I quickly learned it was not a joke. I spoke with Jesse. I spoke with Lucas. I actually tried to get into Cedars-Sinai. They wouldn't let me in because I wasn't next of kin. So I couldn't get in, but he was at Cedars-Sinai, and it was bad. It wasn't good. He could have killed him. That's the thing. He could have killed him. I mean, with a metal chair, and
he was probably drinking and doing who knows what else, and he just wasn't in control of his faculties. I mean, that's probably what happened. He just
he gets very aggressive. He gets very, very, very aggressive. And it's a different Andy. It's not the real Andy. It's not the Andy that I love. There's an Andy that I love that is so sweet.
Smiles, the one who smiles.
Yeah. He smiles. He laughs.
Last week he said, he really got aggressive against Eric. He's like, I'll tell you what, they're going to have to carry you out on a stretcher because I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Remember that?
Yeah, that is not the side I like. He has a soft side to him. In fact, I brought him to the beach this week because I wanted to bring him to the furthest point away from his friends. So good
idea.
Yeah, so I brought him to the beach, and that was actually somewhat of a normal day. We sat on the beach, we spoke, and I was like, okay, maybe this is real. Because sometimes I'm not sure if it's real. I'm like, does this guy love me? Does he care at all? Am I just a wallet to him?
You could tell last week when he was talking to your dad, he loves you.
Yeah.
He loves you, but he also knows that you have a very low tolerance for this kind of bullshit. And
yeah.
You're the one, recently you're the one who corrals him into behaving correctly. So,
and he has it in him. He
does.
He really has it in him, but for some reason, there's these all types of people that are surrounding him. Like this guy that we went out to dinner with, we went to this really nice place, Nurset, and this guy that I could tell he was a really bad influence because he was just too much of an Andy fan. So there's problems with that. So when he surrounds himself with like fanatics, like Andy fanatics, they really enable him. So if he wants drugs, they'll give him money for drugs. They'll get him any drug he wants.
I mean, that's the trap house. The trap house was full of people like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not good for Andy. Well,
yeah.
I mean, listen, you've been through the mill with this guy. You're still supportive. I still hear you being very supportive of Andy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to move him in with me. He doesn't have to pay any rent. He could stay here. I'll feed him. I'll pay for his food. I will not get him drugs. That's what we argue about a lot. I will not get him drugs, 100% never. I won't give him any cash, nothing like that. But I will feed him. I'll help him. And I just want to introduce him to some nice people. Like I have so many nice people coming to my birthday party on Wednesday. I'm having a birthday party on Wednesday.
Oh, that would be great. I mean, that would if he, and also he'll get a bunch of days clean with nothing, hopefully he can't get anything in jail. I mean, maybe that's silly of me to think that, but hopefully he can't get anything in jail and he'll be sort of sobering up. Meanwhile, he's safe. If he goes directly from jail to your place, he's safe. He's got to, and his friends need to know that these bad friends need to know they're kind of out of the picture at this point. I mean, you're the one who is helping him. You're the one who is going to help shepherd him out of all these problems. And it's a great idea, I think. I mean, as long as he's up for it.
But you know what I'm kind of bothered by? I think when you get into jail, you're allowed a few calls. He did not call me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he did not call me.
Well, that's a little weird.
Well, it's really, he always chooses others over me. He chooses Lucas over me. He chooses his trap house friends over me. Anybody that can get him drugs, he'll choose over me. And that's been the hardest part of this whole thing. It's been horrible for me because I know what he's like. I see these little glimpses of him and he's the sweetest person. He's so smiley and just
when he smiles, your heart melts. I saw it last week. He get that little smile and you're like, see, that's why I like this guy.
Yeah. No, it's there. There's some things he's just very unique in a lot of good ways. But right now, this week has been very awful. It's been the worst. And even if you put him in the nicest environment with the best people, with normal people, with clean people. He doesn't see the value in that for some reason. He goes right towards the other group. He's very attracted to a group of people and new people that can offer him, just whatever he wants, no matter if it hurts him or not. And that's the scary thing, is like all these new people always come into his life that will just do anything for him. And it doesn't matter, what it is. And like, it was so disturbing. This guy called me. He was at the bank and, at the ATM, and I could hear him taking money out for Andy. And I was thinking, I'm going to lose him tonight. Tonight's going to be it. It's going to be. So when I heard that he was in jail, I was really happy. I was.
It's got to be a relief. It has to be a relief.
Yes.
Hey, listen, can I do my happy birthday for you right now?
Yes, of course.
And it's actually, just so everybody knows, your birthday's still about 3 days away, right?
Yeah. I just figured we'd celebrate it today. I'm going to be celebrating all week. I have a party. Everybody's invited to my party. So if you are out there and you think you should be invited to my birthday party, just write to me and you're invited.
Well, I'm in Colorado right now, and I'll be in Florida in about a week and a half. But anyway, let me do this, and then you can move on with the rest of the show. Thank you so much for chatting with me about Andy, and thanks for updating us, with everything that's happening right now.
Oh, my pleasure, Claire.
Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Elisa. Happy birthday to you.
Beautiful, Claire. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
Many more, and many more.
Thank you. Thank you for your call, and I just appreciate you so much.
You have a great show, and I can't wait to hear from everybody else.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, Claire. All right, that was Claire. Great guy, really nice friend of the show. I'm just going to bring on my co-host, Sugar. Hey, Sugar, welcome to Kermit and Friends.
Hi, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice birthday present. Listen, Andy cannot come from jail into your apartment. Dr. Drew couldn't fix this guy. Between the fame and the drugs, there's neurological damage. That's a funny word to not be able to say. Neurological damage that you can't fix.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah,
Talk about coincidences, like about the jail thing, about you having someone on here who's going to talk to us about dating someone who's in jail. Gonzo and I were talking, like, we both love that show, Life After Lockup. And he was saying that he wants to go to jail so he could be on it. And I said that I would be like the weirdo sugar mama who spends all her money and then tries to control him. And
for Gonzo?
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, the producers might be watching, and like now they're going to know it's a big scam. But
you know what? If you're going to be a sugar mama, yeah.
Yeah, you and Andy can go on Life After Lockup now.
Really? Oh my gosh, that's good, because Andy completely blew this other opportunity that we had. I got this show to be interested in us. It was about love and like people cheating. And we were so close. They sold the show. We had it. We were going to be on it. And then stupid Andy, he freaking ruined it. Oh, my God. It's so frustrating. So, yeah, we need a show to be on. Life After Lockup. That does sound good.
That would, yeah. So
I've never seen
Andy self-sabotage.
Yeah, wow. He ruined the show because he refused to have Lucas on it. He didn't want to give Lucas a platform. So we lost that opportunity, but we have other opportunities. I'm talking to a lot of people about, me and Andy and getting us, working together, because Andy really is a full-time job.
Yeah. And if you have a Life After Lockup type situation, like, they don't have any behavioral restrictions on the cast.
Oh, really? I'm going to write that down.
Well, yeah, because these people are crazy. And so I don't think that, Andy's behavior would be a problem. It's Life After Lockup and Love After Lockup. And maybe me and Gonzo could be on the same season as you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, if you're going to be a sugar daddy to someone, I think Gonzo's a good candidate for that. Very good.
Plus, he was on Howard Stern this week, and he invented the term lady dick.
Yeah, so Gonzo,
really
Gonzo claimed that he gave a guy a blowjob this week. Is that right?
No, it was a trans girl, but she's pre-op. But he said that she did not have male genitalia because she's trans, and he called it a lady dick.
Yeah. No, I knew there was something wrong with Gonzo when he didn't want to date me anymore. I knew there was something a little off. I'm like, how could you not want me, Gonzo? Come on. Please.
No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What happened to, I love that song too. I want to find your version, and I want to find the cover version of the You Turn Me On, Gonzo. I want it for my workout tape.
Oh, yeah. So I wrote a song for Gonzo called You Turn Me On, Gonzo. It's a great song. It's on YouTube. Everybody can listen to it. So, Sugar, are you coming to my birthday party Wednesday?
I absolutely am. I am Ubering all the way there so I can have fun. Because my first thought, I'm not going to lie, my first thought was, oh my God, I do not want to park in Hollywood.
Oh, that was your first thought?
I don't want to park in Hollywood. And then yeah, I know, I'm horrible. But then I thought, well, the hell with it. Then I'll just Uber, then I'll have fun.
Yeah, you're going to have a great time. And I think I am going to open the party to the Kermit and Friends audience. So if somebody's out there and they want to come to the birthday party, they can. It's Wednesday. Just hit me up. I'll give you the address and it should be good. Like Sugar's going to be there. And I was like, who else should I invite? You know, I was thinking, so Brandon, my neighbor, will be there. Michelle from the Kermit and Friends chat will be there. I'm trying to think of who else you would know. I got to think. Oh, Elaine from the chat will be there. Yeah. So a lot of the chatters from Kermit and Friends that you guys know will be at my birthday party, and I'm really leaving it open. So whoever wants to come can come, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be at one of Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants. I'll just say at Tom Tom. Yeah, fuck it. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I got a huge area, like pretty much a whole room blocked off. My mom will be there. And that gave me a lot of anxiety. But you know what? I'm just going to let it go. I'm putting things in God's hands. I really am a believer that God has my back. I think God, was nervous about my mom meeting Andy. And now Andy's in jail and we're all safe. So part of me thinks
he's okay. I don't know what kind of experience he's having there. Honestly, I'm worried because I don't know if he's acting up. And then when you were saying, he had opportunities to call, and I don't know if he's had any opportunities to call. I knew a girl once, I swear to God, she was the nicest girl. She got into it with her husband. He ended up putting a restraining order on her. She called him and psycho called him until he had her arrested. They arrested her. They gave her one phone call. Guess who she called?
Who?
Her husband.
Oh,
and they threw her into solitary because she would not stop calling her husband. And literally, this was the nicest, most nonviolent girl, and she ended up in solitary because she was flipping out. So I don't know what his situation is in there, where they have him. I don't know if it's some sort of a psych hold. I mean, they should have 5150 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they searched
in the hospital.
They searched the apartment. I know that. And, based on that, he should be in a psych hold. I mean, that apartment is just, it's worse than ever. So he has that apartment that he's getting evicted from, and then he has a hostel. It's just a really horrible situation. But it's weird because when I brought him to my apartment, like I even cleaned for him. I cleaned my whole apartment. I made it really comfortable for him. He doesn't like that.
He doesn't like anything. His pleasure centers are worn out in his brain. And imagine the frustration. If you were given everything you'd ever wanted on a silver platter and you couldn't feel anything. I mean, that would make me crazy too. That would make, if I could not feel pleasure, that would make me nuts. And I'm almost certain that's what happened to Andy. The psychiatrists were talking about Brittany. And that's one of the things they were saying is that fame literally physically wears out the pleasure centers in your brain. So does dope. So does coke. So does meth. So does excessive amounts of sex. Everything that he has done, I'm sure, has made his brain completely numb. I don't think he can feel joy.
Well, I see him.
That's what makes him nuts.
So sometimes I see a little joy from him, like when he's eating very, very expensive carpaccio. He seems
like tiny
very happy.
Little window, like just
a little window.
Yeah, and just enough to like kill you inside.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it's so frustrating. It's frustrating, but I look at it and I'm in this situation. Somehow I'm in this situation and I feel like I'm meant to be there for some reason. Like I feel like it's me. It's up to me. No one else. I can't really see any of the other people that he knows doing anything. And I don't know. I just feel like I haven't come up with something enough yet. But
we'll never give up on Andy. Never.
Yeah, we're never going to give up.
I DM'd Dr. Drew.
Oh, you did?
I haven't even seen, it's not even marked as read, but I DM'd Dr. Drew and basically said, listen, this is where I know Andy from. This is what's going on. If there's anything you can do.
Yeah, see, the thing is, like, Dr. Drew, every doctor has worked with him before, multiple times. So I don't know if that's going to help. I mean,
probably not. I was hoping maybe there was a program.
Oh yeah,
like
program
they started
would be good.
Some sort of jail program or something where you know they could like say, okay, you know, there's a new thing and we're going to recommend Andy for it. You know, I mean, my concern with this is that you can't really say, well, you know, he's basically just hurting himself because he whacked Lucas upside the head with a metal chair and damn near split his head open.
If he killed Lucas, he didn't. Lucas is okay, but I was just thinking about that. Because, you know, when you hit someone on the head, you know, people can definitely die from that. And I was just thinking that. I'm like, this is where we are right now. You know, this is very far. You know, this is not good. This is really bad. This is not stealing like a plate from a restaurant. This is like getting dangerous. So, I mean, I think that's where my top concern is right now, is that like if he like killed, you know, someone, and that's not who he is. So, you know, that's just
like Lucas is way too young not to have any. His parents must still be alive. He must have family that is relatively. I mean, he looks like he's 20.
Yeah, and he's really young. He's like 23.
I can't believe, why is there no one, no uncles, no anyone in his family not coming and getting him the hell out of this situation? He's just a kid.
He is a kid. That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I guess I haven't. Oh, here, I'm getting a call. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hi, Lisa, it's Barry.
Hey, Barry.
I wanted to wish you a very happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much, Barry. I really appreciate that. You're so sweet. What a sweetheart.
No worries.
You're in a very crowded place. Are you at a party right now?
What?
Are you at a party right now? It sounds like you're in a very crowded place.
I'm in my house. We're having a blast.
Okay, good, Barry. Thank you for your call. I'm just going to bring Coach Love on. Coach Love, you booked our guest today. Can you tell us a little bit about this guest?
Well, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You know what? You know what? It's going to be a blessed and amazing birthday for you, regardless of this. Yeah. You know what? This might be the gift for you. You know, the gift of peace. The gift of the man the gift of the man you love, safe.
I mean, it is. I was kind of thinking that. I was like, wow, this is one day I don't have to worry about him really. I mean, he's in good hands. I don't have to pay for him today.
There you go. God put him in a box for you. He put him in a box. He's got your present. Oh my God. Poor Andy. We're going to keep him lifted up. But Fallon McNeil is amazing. She is actually a teacher, and she's been a teacher for 7 years. She specializes in reading to help kids really understand and, you know, comprehend what they read. And so in doing so, she was just really looking into the hearts of the kids. And she had this situation for herself where the children have their parents in jail. It's like, how does a kid deal with that? And so she wrote a whole book about it. You are going to love her. She was dating this man for quite a long time. She was completely in love with him, like you. And so I'm sure she can, you know, help you with some advice and, you know, really open up her heart to you and kind of show you the way how to deal with this.
It is like a really weird situation. Like I think it didn't really hit me yet like that. I mean, I'm very disturbed by the situation. I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I feel weird talking about it, but I think I should talk about it. I mean, maybe this is something where we can help people somehow. I mean, maybe there's a greater purpose to this than what we see here. That's what I'm kind of thinking. And it just is such a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, but I mean, it's so weird that you booked her for the show today while I'm going through the same exact situation. It's so weird.
You know what it is, Kismet? You know, we've had a lot of conversations about God. I totally believe in God. Do I think God is equipping you for what you're going through? I totally believe that. As a matter of fact, if you look back at our last few episodes, remember we had the lady on about abuse?
Yes.
And we had the police officer on. I feel like it's just all coming to a culmination, you know?
Yes,
because it
is.
kind of preparing you for what we're going through right now. But overall, we want Andy to be safe, and it'll work out. It's going to work out.
It's going to work out. God has our back. You let God take the wheel. You know, I'm not posting bail for that reason. And also, you know, I want to buy some other things. But, you know, you let God take the wheel. And if it's best for him to stay in there, maybe he should stay in there. But I'm going to ask advice from our expert, Fallon McNeil. Hi, Fallon. Welcome to Kermit and Friends.
Hi. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much, Fallon. I am so thrilled that you're here. You are an author and you help people. Like, how do you primarily help people?
So for starters, I really help a lot of children who are dealing with the issue of their parent being incarcerated. And I give them coping skills to deal with the situation, and also help parents who have a family member that is incarcerated to give them some type of strategies to take and approaches to take with their child.
Okay. And what inspired you to do this? You had a situation. What was your situation?
So my kid's father served some time. He did almost basically a decade in prison. And during that time, my daughter was just so confused. She had so many questions about who, what, when, and how, what was going on. And she loved to read. And because I am a teacher, I felt like the best way to connect with her was to create a children's book that she can be, that was relatable to her situation, but didn't glamorize the situation at all. It was just more so giving her the skills and the different things that she needed to have to cope through this situation.
So it was your husband, right? So was he, like, when you met him, were there signs that he was going in a bad direction?
We quite didn't make it to marriage, but he is my kid's father. We do share 2 kids together. He was definitely going in a direction that wasn't the most positive direction. I understood the reason behind the way he was going about things. He got caught up because of selling drugs, and he was trying to support his family, and that's quick and easy money. And he did that, and he served the time for that, unfortunately. But during that time, I think that we all as a family, and including him, learned a lot from the experience, because not only was he locked up, we were mentally locked up from this situation because we had to hold on, you know? So, yeah.
So it was selling drugs. That's what he was doing. Was that his job, or did he have another job?
That was his source of income.
Oh, okay. And wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's all he did. Okay. These drugs, man, they're really, they ruin lives.
They destroy so many homes and so many.
They really do.
It's just, it's unfortunate. Yes.
And so did you tell your kids that that's what he did? Or, because that's better than like other things it could be, I would think.
I mean, facts, but absolutely not. I did not tell her at all. So at the time when he went away, when he had her, and when he came back home, immediately we had our son. So when he came,
wow.
Yeah.
So you still wanted to have sex with him even after all that?
I mean, we did definitely, because we were planning on actually getting married and pushing for it without it. But I mean, it happened.
See, like it turns me off sexually when I see my fiance breaking the law. Like, I guess some women it would turn on, but for me, it turns me off so much. But maybe you like bad boys.
No, it wasn't necessarily that it turned me on. I think it was just the fact that we missed each other, and we just was putting the past where the past was at, and we just wanted to move forward. And again, like I was, going in with the notion of this man was going to be my husband. So naturally, I wanted to go forth with everything.
Wow. And how's he doing now? Is he better?
He's doing better. He has 2 barbershops. He's been doing a lot better. He's definitely on a more positive path. Yeah, he's been doing
so there is
better.
Hope. It sounds like there is hope. So that is great. Okay. And I'm sure you heard, like, you were here earlier, like my situation. Do you suggest, like, how involved should I be in this? Because my fiance is in custody right now.
Okay. So if I were you, so the first year, 2 years that he was gone away, I was definitely like all the way involved, but it does take a mental toll on you. I don't know how much time Andy is going to have, if he's going to have a few months, a few weeks, a few days. I mean, that is manageable, but if they give him anything outside of 2 years, I would say it is, sometimes you do have to separate yourself, because like I said, like you will be in the mental state as if you're incarcerated, and it would just block a lot of different things that you should be focused on. You more so focus on him and his safety and everything else, instead of just focusing on you at the time, and you're growing and elevating, so I would definitely suggest you're going to have to like really like what you're doing, continue working, continue, speaking highly of him and giving him all the encouragement that he needs. Because right now, I was hearing that you said he hasn't called you because he is a celebrity. They might not give him those privileges yet. He probably doesn't have it yet. So he might be in solitary confinement because he is a celebrity. So yeah.
And it's weird, when I called that jail for the first time, it was such a weird experience. Like, I felt so strange. Like, I didn't even know what to ask. I was so disappointed in him. I went through these feelings. Like, I wasn't really sad yet. I was just so mad at him.
That's it. Yeah.
Were you like that?
I was upset because at the time when he got incarcerated, I was pregnant. So my situation was a little bit more different. I was pregnant because I was like, I'm like, not only are you getting locked up, you about to get all this time. Like, where do I start? Where do I begin? How do I pick up the pieces? Like, all this. So like, that was like, it was almost if somebody had told me, I mean, he was gone. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I was hurt. I was definitely so hurt. I really was. But time elapsed so fast, and it was just like blink of the eye. We was picking him up from the bus station.
Wow. Yeah, it's weird. I was so mad at him. I was so pissed. I'm like, I felt like he did it to me. Like those were the feelings I had. I was like, this asshole freaking, I was so mad at him. I was just like, it was so much anger because I gave him so many chances, and I felt like I really put myself out there, put myself on the line for him. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Even though I'm talking about it like publicly, it's still embarrassing for me. Because
it is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Did you tell people? Did people find out with you, or did you tell people? How did that part work?
I didn't want to, because I am in the profession I am in, teaching, I did not want to tell, of course, obviously my coworkers. Now that I've written a book, a lot of people do know my situation, but I did not want to broadcast that because it was embarrassing. I didn't want my daughter to have that, even though it is becoming the norm, unfortunately. Like, a lot of people got parents and people that are incarcerated. I just didn't want that attached to me, to my name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so I did not.
You want to, for me, like when I got involved with him, I was thinking, man, I'm going to change his whole life. I'm going to make it better, and everybody's going to see that. And we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do this show, we're going to do that show, and I'm talking to this guy, and I'm going to bring him to meetings, and I'm going to make sure he does this. We're going to make so much money together. We're going to do great. We're going to be a family. And I was thinking, and he was asking me to have a baby. I mean, it was like going well. And then over and over, I saw really bad things happening and really bad people coming in. I was having dinner with people that I was like, man, I don't trust this guy. This guy is a fake. He's not real. He's going to steal from us. He's going to try to do something with us. And it was really horrible. So all that stuff, it just like culminates into, I'm like, okay, this is what this is. This is not what I was thinking it was going to be. And then Andy gave me his phone. He goes, look through my texts. I don't know why he did that because his texts were horrible. And so I go through his texts, and each connection I connected him to, he was just blowing it and asking those people for money and making himself look really bad. And I was thinking, man, I could do anything for this guy. I mean, I could buy him an island, by himself, and he'll still find the way off it to do drugs.
Yeah. You sounded like me in so many different ways. Like, it's like you want to help these people out, but the only person that can help Andy out is Andy. And because he wasn't willing to do the work, God had to preserve him and put him away. And you have to look at it like that. You have to get the lesson out of the situation you're in. God had to remove him from his environment, literally, because he wasn't going to do it himself. He had to remove him out of the environment, place him in this place where he can mentally get himself together. He can also slow down because he was self-sabotaging himself. He can slow down the train wreck that he was on. Like, he had to do that for him and for him to be a better man for you, because that's what you deserve. God knows your worth, and you know your worth, and you're growing to learn it even more, even through this process that he's gone away. You know you deserve somebody that's going to literally be the best that they can be. And the way he can be the best that he could be is by being removed from the situation and been put in there for a while. And I mean, at the end of the day, God is going to make everything out for your good. Just always remember that.
And then something that I'm embarrassed to admit, but I want to say to you, because I'm just curious if you relate to this at all, is part of me is afraid that in jail, like the longer he's there, that he could fall out of love with me and just get out of there and just want to meet someone else.
I mean, that can happen when he's out. Like, you could think of that kind of mindset when he's out. Like, I don't think that's something that you should worry about it or anything. Like, he's at the status that he's on. I'm pretty sure he can probably have a lot of different options, but he chose you, and he knows that you're a better fit for him. He knows that you genuinely care about his health and his well-being. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that is always going to stick no matter who it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, your situation is going to stick to it.
Okay. And so if people need help, your help, and they want to look into you, how do they do that? How do they find you?
So a few ways. You can find me on Instagram. You can look me up F Nicole on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook. I'm also on Facebook, Fallon Nicole on Facebook. And I put it that way so my students don't find me. So I have to put my first and middle name on there. But yeah, Fallon Nicole on Facebook, or F Nicole on IG.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Fallon. I really needed you today. You're amazing. Everybody find Fallon. She's really nice, and she's just like helpful. And I feel like God actually sent her here. That's the weird thing. So everybody just relax for a second. We have another guest coming up, but first let's hear a song from Wappy. Here's Wappy. Hey, Wappy.
She never mentions the word addiction in a certain company. Yeah, she'll tell you she's an orphan after you meet her family. She paints her eyes as black as night now, pulls those shades down tight. Yeah, she gives a smile when the pain comes. The pain gonna make everything alright. Yeah, she told talks to angels. Call her out by her name. Yeah, she talks to angels. Call her out by her name. She keeps a lock of hair in her pocket. She wears a cross around her neck. Yeah, the hair is from a little boy. And the cross is someone she has not met. Yeah, she talks to angels. Call her out by her name. Yeah, she talks to angels. She says they all know her name.
Absolutely beautiful, Wappy. Thank you so much. That guy's amazing. Okay, everybody, welcome to the show. Rachel Luba. She's an American sports agent. She's the founder and owner of Luba Sports, a sports agency based in Maple Valley, Washington. She's the youngest certified female agent in baseball. Everybody welcome Rachel Luba. Hi, Rachel. Welcome to Kermit and Friends.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I am so excited that you are here. I kept it a secret because I wasn't sure if you were definitely coming, but I'm very happy to see you. Okay, so people have lots of questions for you. Do you do a lot of podcasts and interviews?
Yeah, fair amount.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to have fans come up and talk to you, but first, what made you decide to get into sports? Were you athletic as a kid?
Yeah, I was a gymnast my entire life, basically, from the age of 2 through college at UCLA. So I kind of knew I wanted to work in sports, but wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. And then when I got to UCLA, started thinking more about it, and I realized I was passionate about helping like the individual athlete, probably just because I was always an individual sport athlete myself. Mm-hmm. And so started thinking about athlete representation. And then the first agent I spoke to, because they tell you, to like interview or talk to people who are in the industry that you think you want to go in, and like get their take on it.
Yeah.
And the first agent was a baseball agent that I talked to, and he like kicked his feet up on his desk and leaned back in his chair and was like, "Listen, it seems like you know what you want to do, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it." He's like, "You're a female." And I was like, "I know."
And you were very young at that point. How old were you at that point?
I was in college. I was probably 18 at that time.
Wow.
So I was like, "Yeah, I know." And he said that, I was like, "All right, is that it?" And he's like, "Well, the reality is you're not welcome in the industry."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. There was nobody else?
So, yeah, I mean, that's what he said. So I was like, all right, well, is that it? And he said, look, he's like, I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's just the reality. It's a boys' club. And then I was like, okay, this is a pointless chat. And he was like, look, if you want any chance, any credibility, like you're going to have to get a law degree. So I walked out of there. I remember texting my parents and I was like, I'm going to go to law school. I've always kind of had a personality, I think, where if you tell me I can't do something, like it's exactly what I want to do. So yeah. I credit him for if he approached the talk as like, yeah, it's a great industry. You can, these are the different avenues people take and whatever. I probably would have walked out of there and been like, okay, now I'm going to go talk to an NBA agent or NFL. But that conversation, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a baseball agent.
So was that guy a big guy in the industry?
Yeah, pretty decent.
So he was not encouraging.
No, but most aren't. I mean, that wasn't the first comment I ever got about being a female. I mean, up until at one point I was working at MLBPA. I was a lawyer there, doing salary arbitration contracts. So the MLBPA is the Players Association, like their union. And even when I was there, I would have agents, like I would be helping agents negotiate their salary arbitration contracts, but yet those agents, some of those same ones were still telling me like I wouldn't be able to be an actual agent in the industry because I was a female. So like he wasn't the only guy.
Wow. And you were certain at that point at 18, that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah. Again, probably just because someone said you can't do it. I grew up with 3 brothers.
Okay.
Like there was never anything that I ever thought women can't do, but like only guys can, just simply because, like just because you're a girl. So, I've always liked a challenge.
So how do you represent people? Then when you started, like how did you get your first person? Who was your first person?
So my first client actually was Trevor Bauer. This is Trevor Bauer's girlfriend. Yeah, that's a common comment that I always get. I get it about every player.
Really? Wait,
yeah.
So Trevor Bauer was your first person that you represented. So how do you go after someone like that when he hasn't heard of you? You didn't have anybody before that.
So we both went to UCLA together. So we knew each other from UCLA. So I had known him. I've known him for about 11 years now. I had known him at the time. We always kept in touch. He was someone who was very unconventional. And he tells people all the time, like he's not world's greatest athlete. He wasn't just born a physical specimen. But he's, to be honest, like he's actually not that athletic in a lot of ways.
Really? But he got the biggest deal. I read that he got the biggest deal ever because of you. How could he not be athletic?
I mean, baseball, look, he's a pitcher. He's found ways to, train his arm and be able to be effective and have this arm that is a weapon in Major League Baseball. But that being said, like he's not necessarily super athletic. So he's always gone about things in a very unconventional way. He's very smart. He was a mechanical engineer major at UCLA. His dad is a chemical engineer, and his dad was, a big help in kind of getting him to where he is. Mm-hmm. They went about, learning and trying to teach Trevor how to pitch by using kind of math and science in a lot of ways. And so I don't think Trevor ever viewed things as there's a certain mold and only a certain kind of person that can be successful in any area. He believes there are all different types of people who can be successful in whatever kind of field they want to go into, as long as you're willing to, put in the work and be creative and find ways to, figure out how to be successful with what you have. And so I think he kind of looked at, number one, he never doubted the fact, okay, she's a female, so what? Like he knows I'm, intelligent. He's seen all the ways that, over the years, everything I did, becoming a lawyer, getting a job at the MLBPA, all these things. And then I ended up deciding to start my agency and use a completely different model. So instead of agents who charge, all baseball agents essentially will charge 4 to 5% on the contract. I operate more like a law firm. So I charge for the service I provide. So I use basically billable hours. So he looked at this one as this is a better model. It makes way more sense for athletes. The difference is just no one is doing it.
Are you the only one that uses that model?
Yeah. So there's one other agent who his primary job is he's a lawyer, but he represents some players as well, and he uses a hybrid of that model as well. But everyone else just charges the same.
So does that mean when he got his $102 million deal that you got him, that you don't get a percentage of that?
Correct. So I mean, look, I did okay, and I'm I'm not in a bad spot. But that being said, I didn't take a percentage of his contract. And the way I look at it is the value that these players, especially now with these advanced algorithms and analytics, the players are earning their value themselves more or less on the field. You know, teams they're pretty accurate in spitting out using numbers and data to pretty accurately pinpoint what a player is worth. And so, you know, the work that I do to get him his deal versus the work that I might do to get another player $1 million contract shouldn't necessarily be any different, right? The value, that $1 million player, I can't get him that $40 million a year contract like I did for Trevor, because they're clearly just two different players.
Right.
But the service that I provide essentially should be the same thing. The difference in the contract is because of the player himself. And so for me to take a percentage of it just didn't make sense. And I'm not reinventing the wheel by like this idea of paying for like using billable hours, right? Most industries, you pay for the service that is provided to you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you're actually doing it in a really fair way that isn't done that much.
Right.
So that's pretty interesting. Okay. So are you happy with everything now? I see like a lot of people still questioning you. Like when in the chat, you know, people are asking if you're dating that guy. You're not dating Trevor.
Yeah, no, everyone, this, like, because I am a female, everyone thinks that, you know, there's no way she could have gotten here on her own. There's no way that she could have gotten here because she deserves it, or just that my personal life is relevant kind of thing. Whereas I look at it and my response always is that I refuse to answer to a separate set of questions than like men have to answer to. Right. There are athletes, there are agents who are also, you know, gay, and nobody sits there and questions, you know, guys, well, are you dating a player? Are you, you know, but because I'm a female, everybody, one wants to assume, one wants to know. And until everyone is asking, you know, other agents these questions as well, like, I just will never answer it, because again, my kind of go-to is if I answer it, then every other girl that comes after me, every other female that comes after me is going to have to answer the same thing.
Right. It's annoying. And I wonder if it makes it even worse that you're an attractive female.
Well, thank you.
No, but if you were like a big, like fat female, nobody would be asking that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's true. I also get, there are, you know, women on social media as well who will tell me that, you know, I set the women's movement back, and I am
back.
Yeah.
Why would be back?
Because the way I portray myself on social media is, you know, I sexualize myself, and it's just to appeal to men. And so I'm setting the women's movement back. And my whole thing has been that it does not matter what your gender is. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter, you know, how you dress outside of, you know, doing your job. If you know that your stuff, you should be able to be in this industry. Like, if you are good enough, you should be able to do the job. And sometimes, and look, I do this a lot of times intentionally to kind of try to break a mold and to, you know, change things. But yeah, I might go extreme in some ways, but it's to kind of show and change and hopefully make it different for other, you know, future women that come in the industry, that you can be whoever you are, you know, as long as you do a good job. And I have so many, you know, young girls that will reach out, girls that are in law school, whatever, who will thank me and say like, thanks, because I feel a little better. Like, I feel like I can be at the beach and post a picture in a bikini, and it's not going, you know, like, it's not going to affect the, you know, whether people will hire me or, you know,
I just looked at your Instagram. It's like a normal Instagram. You don't have any like slutty pictures on here or anything.
I mean, every now and then I have, like, you can definitely see, yeah, everyone can go try to find the slutty.
You're not going to find any slutty pictures on that. No, but why people have a problem with your Instagram? I don't even see anything really.
So I post, there's some, I mean, where you can definitely see me in, me in a bikini, me in.
There's a good one.
Yeah, there you go.
They don't have a problem with that, I don't think. See, yeah, it is confusing. I'm torn between it, right, Rachel? So I am torn because then I think if little kids are looking up to me, which please don't, if you're a little kid, please don't. But if they are, I wouldn't think I would want to pose like sluttier pictures because I wouldn't want like my kid to be like that because I know in life, like you just get further with your law degree and with your hard work. So I am actually torn on it.
But so you get further, yeah, but I guess the whole thing is why can't you be, who you are, be proud of who you are. And there was an ESPN article that came out maybe like a couple weeks ago by Jessica Mendoza, who she works in baseball now. She was an Olympic softball player and just badass. But yeah. She wrote an article kind of, I guess, through my voice and my story about my eating disorder that I had from gymnastics. And I go through the entire thing and talk about kind of why, because one of her first questions to me when she did another ESPN piece on me earlier in the year, and she looked at my social media, and there was a lot of scrutiny about my social media and how I present myself on there.
Did you delete pictures that were there?
No, I haven't deleted any. So she asked me, well, why do you post these things? And so I talked to her about, one of the things was, look, my eating disorder, like there was a time where even when I was a gymnast, I was very strong. I had this certain body where, women would tell me, you're so lucky. I wish I looked like, had a body like you. And then men would tell me I'm too strong and too muscular. And there was a period where like, I did not like my body. I was very unhappy. And I finally got into a place in my life where like, I'm happy with how I look. And it wasn't always like that. And so when I post a picture on, Instagram or whatever it is, it's usually because like, for me, it's a proud moment. It's like, I can look at this and feel happy with where I'm at. And that was something that I could say. And whether, people looked at other pictures before of me and were like, well, you looked great then. Like, I didn't necessarily think so. And so for me, posting this kind of stuff sometimes is like therapeutic. It's like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm proud of, where I am with recovering from an eating disorder. And I like this picture and I'm going to post it. And that's a lot of the reason why, not necessarily just to be, like a thirst trap or something.
I try very hard not to post any thirst traps, but I feel like everything's a thirst trap. I mean, why would you post a picture if you're not a little thirsty?
Yeah, exactly. So,
I think we're all thirsty in a way. Okay, let's take some questions. Who should we go to? Lori. This is a young lady, Lori. Lori, you're on with the very successful Rachel Luba.
Hi. I heard you talk about eating disorders, and I've dealt with like eating disorders on and off. Like right now I'm dealing with just boredom, depression eating. How do you think somebody should go upon like recognizing that they have an eating disorder and getting over it?
I think it's a tough, first of all, I totally, feel for you, and I've been there and I struggle with food. It's a really tough thing to even get to the point where you can realize and acknowledge that you have an eating disorder and to say you have one. If your life, a lot of times for me, the way I look at it, if your life is a majority of your day revolves around and is consumed by thinking about what you're going to eat, wanting to eat, thinking about food, then it's probably like unhealthy eating habits, because food, in my opinion, is just fuel. It should just be a secondary thing in your life that, maybe it's something social, you go out to dinner, but it should not be the central part of your life. And there was a point where, the food was my entire life. And that's kind of the first step, getting over it. It's so tough. There is no answer. There's no one right way. Finding people who who understand, talking to your loved ones about it, letting them in, letting them try to help, but setting boundaries, I think, on, these are things that are helpful, these are things that aren't. And then just kind of changing your image of what is beautiful to you, and like what kind of body are you trying to get, and realizing that first of all, like, I will never be 6 feet tall. I'm never going to be stick thin. It's just not how my body's built. And so I honestly, on social media, I started unfollowing all of these women that I followed and influencers or whatever that looks like that. I started following more like fit, muscular people, because that was my build anyway. So that, to me, I had to change my concept of, to me, what I viewed as like beautiful.
Is that what it is for you, Lori? Are you comparing yourself to people?
Sometimes I get in my head, and I deal with like body dysmorphia because my image of myself in my head is very different than what I see in the mirror. And sometimes I like what I see in the mirror, and sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I think when you do like it, sometimes maybe like take a picture of yourself and then look at it, and remember that when you took that picture, you really liked what you looked like.
But is it about looks so much, Rachel, or you think it's about something else inside?
It can be a lot of things. Sometimes it's control. It's feeling like you're in a place where you can't control anything else, and this is something you can control. I know, like, a lot of what set me into my eating disorder, and it happens. You don't realize when you cross that line. At least I was anorexic, and when you like cross the line of now you're like unhealthy. But for me, I was a gymnast, and it was, once you go through puberty and you start going through puberty, I mean, I had coaches that would, yell at me because I wasn't blessed with a body. Like, he would point to the 7-year-old, or my teammate who was 7 standing next to me. Like, yeah, I'm 16. Like, of course I'm not blessed with her body anymore. So a lot of it was, I thought I would be a better athlete. And so but then I crossed that line, and I got to the point where everything started hurting. I was still training, 6 to 8 hours a day, but trying to stay under like 400 calories. And then my coaches would tell me, well, maybe if you gain some weight, like your body wouldn't break down. And so for me, it was, I don't know, I thought I would be a better athlete, but once you cross the line of like, you're now in this unhealthy state. I mean, there's a chemical imbalance too, especially when you start losing a ton of weight. What you see in the mirror is just totally different.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. It sounds like you were just under so much pressure when you were so young. I mean, how are you going to deal? I mean, that can't end up well, I think, right?
No, there are very few high-level gymnasts, I would say, that don't have some sort of eating disorder. And like, I credit the sport of gymnastics for that. But I mean, that's a whole other
Yeah.
thing.
So do you think that, I mean, were you pushed, or did you want to do it?
My parents were always really good about, like, the only kind of requirement they ever had for us and my brothers was that we did something after school. Like, we couldn't just come home. And so if it was whether we wanted to do piano or, whatever, a sport, but we had to do something. And so, I mean, I would come home in tears all the time, and my parents, and I would say, I want to quit. I hate this. And my parents always said, look, like, that's fine, but you committed to, like, if we were in competition season, like, you committed to the season, so you need to finish out the season and then you can quit. So they never pushed me. I definitely pushed myself. But, when you dedicate that much of your life to something, and to me, it was my identity. It was who I was. Like, I was a gymnast. I never thought about actually quitting. And so, yeah.
So you liked it. Okay. 2 more questions, because I know you got to go. Let's take one from Charmin. Hey, Charmin.
So you have predominantly worked in male environments, and for sure you've seen all the personalities at play, the grandiose, the overinflated egos. What is a tip that you can share with the rest of us watching for how to present yourself best so that you work most cooperatively with somebody who's maybe personality you don't mesh with?
Great question.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's, figuring out when, just being adaptable, I think, and figuring out when to, if somebody clearly, and I think this happens if you're, working with other men or women or just any other personality type. If somebody is clearly has a personality type where they need to be in charge and they need to show that they're in control and whatever, I think understanding where the other people are and being able to then, adapt your tactics actually puts you in control in a way. And letting them think that if they want to be the ones in control, let them think that. In reality, I think a lot of times put you in control. Take a step back and okay, let them lead, let them feel as like they're important. But I think if you can always be aware, and if you can understand where, the different personality types of other people, and put yourself in a position that is going to, most favorably be able to work with that person in a way, you have the upper hand because you can adapt. And so I think the ability just to be, adaptable and recognize other strong personalities.
Yeah.
And how to cooperate with them is a very powerful.
Are you not a very emotional person?
No, I'm emotional. I put on a front for sure. People who know me well always joke about how I am a very, I guess behind closed doors, I'm very soft and I'm very, I can be very emotional and things can affect me and whatever. But during the day and in my job, I put on a front of nothing phases me. And so sometimes I think I probably go to the other extreme once I'm done with dealing with work because I have so much time.
So are you very emotional in your personal life?
To an extent, but I guess it's just probably more noticeable because of the fact that when I am working and when I am with, other men and in my industry, I put on a front that isn't necessarily, it's not disingenuine, but it's, I might act like things don't affect me. That being said, with clients and stuff, I'm not afraid to, show emotion sometimes and, be upset, because I think that makes people, it allows people to feel a little more connected to you and trust you a little better. It's hard to trust somebody that shows zero emotion.
I know. Yeah, they're like psychopaths, right?
Right. So so with a client, I want my client to trust me. I want my client to know also how invested I am in them. I think it's one of the things that being a female actually helps is there is this maternal instinct. There is this ability to, connect with and care about another human that I think some men just don't necessarily have. And so I think that in some ways gives me an advantage. So showing that emotional side to clients can, I think, be beneficial.
Yeah, most men are idiots. Here's T-Bob. T-Bob, you're on with Rachel Luba.
Hi, T-Bob.
Rachel, I love listening to you, but I couldn't help but wonder. I mean, you seem like a really strong woman. You're like the youngest woman in the sport thing you're doing with representing the players and all of that good stuff. So let me ask you, are you a Simone Biles fan?
Am I what? Oh, Simone Biles? Yeah, I mean, how can you not be? She's an incredible athlete.
That's right. Yeah. Did you know I was the only moderator on her Facebook group?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm the guy that did all that artwork over there for her.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Small world. So, I know when you're in gymnastics, most of the girls shave their whole bodies, all the hair off their body and stuff, so they can get better streaming through the air and all of that. And I was wondering, do you still shave your whole body like that or not?
I mean, I think I just shave like a normal, a normal.
Bob should shave, right, Rachel? Shouldn't Bob shave?
Okay, now the reason I was asking this because I got one of them problems. It's not an eating disorder so much. Is I got a pot smoking disorder. So the more pot I smoke, the more pussy I want to lick, and I'm pretty good at it. Like I do that for hours, right? And so I was wondering if you're shaving down there, how'd you like a replacement wig?
Yeah.
Love you, baby.
Maybe keep smoking your weed.
What a jerk, right? Wow. All right, let's bring a nicer guy on. Sigmund. Last question. Sigmund, you're on with Rachel Luba.
Oh, he's muted.
Unmute, Sigmund. He dressed up for you.
I love the hat.
Yeah. Sigmund, you're blowing it, Sigmund. Aw. Men, they just can't get it together, right? Here's a good person. Dave, you're on with Rachel Luba. Then we're going to let her go.
Hello, Rachel. It was interesting hearing you talk and stuff. I ain't never seen a baseball match before because they don't show them in England. But your story was really interesting, and it's nice to talk to you. I wanted to ask, first of all, happy birthday, Elisa, because that's coming up in a few days.
Thank you, guys. You guys are so nice.
And if I was, and also thank you for inviting me to your birthday party, but you literally can't get into America unless you've got American citizenship. So there's no way I'm going to be able to get there, but happy birthday anyway.
Thanks.
Yeah, I did want to ask Elisa, do you think Andy Dick being in prison might be the best thing for your relationship?
No, it's obviously the best. It's obviously the best thing. Sometimes it's just better to be in prison. And I don't know, Rachel, if you've heard about this, but my fiance, Andy, is in jail right now, right? So he's in jail, okay? So I'm just going to leave him there. Do you suggest, don't bail people out, right? Have you ever bailed anyone out?
Well, wait, why? No, I haven't. But why? Can I ask why, or how did we get there?
Yeah, sure. So he also, besides being my fiance, he has a boyfriend named Lucas, and they get into physical arguments. And Andy, he just gets really drunk and really aggressive, and he took a chair and he slammed it into this guy Lucas's head. Lucas is at Cedar Sinai. He's not, he's okay. He's alive, but it was just a horrible situation. And then when I heard that Andy was in jail, I was like, part of me was a little happy. It was weird. Like I had mixed feelings about it, because it's like, I want him at my birthday party, but I also kind of want him in jail. So I just don't know.
If you want him in jail, leave him there. If there's
great advice.
That wants him there, he's probably good there.
Have you ever dated anyone that you hated so much you wanted in jail?
I've had periods of feeling like that, and then I usually know this is probably not a great relationship.
Yeah, that's when you get out, when you prefer them in prison. Yeah. Okay, so Rachel, do you have anything to promote so people can follow you, they can add you, they can keep in touch?
Yeah, you can follow me on, I'm on Instagram, rachel.luba, and I'm on Twitter, at Agent Rachel Luba.
Great.
YouTube channel as well, Rachel Luba, if you want to follow. So
please hold.
Yeah.
All right, great. So everybody follow Rachel. Rachel, did you have any fun today?
I did. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much. What a sweetheart. Did everybody love her? I loved her. Thank you, Rachel. Kermit and Friends.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Who's this?
I want to wish you very quickly a very happy birthday.
Thank you. You have any comments on Rachel Luba or on the show at all?
Well, yeah, Andy, don't leave him set in jail. That's just not a very fun place at all.
It's $50,000. I'm not paying $50. I'm not even paying $5. Even if the bill was $5. Even if the bail was $5, I wouldn't bail him out, because I think he's in a better place right now. I really do think that.
There's a bunch of mean people down there. They'll take your sandwich and whatever. If you just put a little money on they call it their books, put a little money there for him, he could buy some crackers and stuff if they take his sandwich. It's not a good place.
Yeah. It's you sound to be on Andy's side. That's interesting. I never hear that.
I'm not on anybody's side. I just don't. I don't wish that on anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's safer than his trap house. That's the thing. Like, I think there's more odds that he's going to live in jail in a healthy way than in his trap house. Actually, I have somebody from the trap house here named Heavy. Hold on, let me talk to this guy. Heavy, you're in Andy's trap house right now. What's going on over there?
Well, we've taken it over. It's no longer, I don't know who Andy is, but like there's a bloke, Jesse here, who's a very nice guy. He seems to keep even keel, but yeah, the vibe is shifted. It's just, you know.
Okay, so you're with Jesse. You're with Jesse. You're in Andy's former trap house. Andy is not there anymore. Okay.
He's just on a little hiatus, you know, like.
Were you there during the fight?
Yes, it was. I mean, like, I just heard like a bunch of like rebop like from the other room. I didn't see anything with my eyes or anything, but I don't, you know, it's all allegedly.
But you saw things. You saw.
Andrew and I have the same lawyer, so I was able to, like, you know, contact him straight away after like the rebop resulted in whatever it resulted, you know.
So what happened there? There was a fight. You were watching the fight. Were you able to break up the fight at all?
No, I didn't see the fight. I just like assumed, you know, because like, you know, 2 + 2 = 4 with that situation, and like Jesse's joining, but like all I know is that the chaos began when the L word just like appeared.
Lucas.
Yeah, like I mean, she's a weirdo, you know.
Okay, so you're calling Lucas she. That's Andy's.
I mean, you know, twinks deserve to be called that sometimes.
Okay, all right. So, and then here's another guy that I think might have been there, Hud Isaacson. Hud Isaacson, did you see anything go down?
Oh, he's a nice guy.
What? Hey, what's up, man? When was this? I wasn't there.
So this was.
I heard about it. I heard about
2 nights ago. 2 nights ago.
He just was passing through.
Oh, did I show up?
Yeah, he was just passing through. I saw him.
Oh yeah, what happened though? Is that when Andy broke his ankle?
No,
that was before.
No,
I just remember him taking his shirt off.
Is that when he broke his hand?
Andy sucked his dick.
Okay,
Oh, really?
so Hud, listen to this. So you remember that night we were at Nurse Set at the steakhouse, and there was another guy there, and you were there, and Andy was hitting on that waitress. Do you remember that?
The steak at the New Sewer Steakhouse, right?
Yeah, Nurse Set in Beverly Hills, and then you guys left, and then I went home. What happened after I went home? What happened after that?
What happened? Oh, we went back to the the trap, and
the smelly house, and then they got
God,
no fight or something.
it's stinky as hell, and it's so stinky in there.
It's so gross. It's disgusting.
I told the guy, you don't want to come here. It's stinky. They're wiping their butts with Chipotle napkins. They never got no toilet paper.
Oh damn! That's
You roasting me? Here I come.
No. Like Jesse, his room is the cleanest room here, but like. You know,
Oh, and Jesse's room is good.
Yeah. See, respect. Jesse.
Hey guys,
Yeah, Hud.
I'm on Melrose trying to sell Andy Dick's baby photos signed.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
They're signed by me though. I'm just telling everyone
I like
they're
that.
signed by him.
That's very Dada of you.
Don't tell Andy though.
I'm not gonna. I'm not.
You can't even call him. They don't accept calls in jail. He has to call us.
Andy's in jail?
Hud, how do you not know that?
Damn it.
When did he get arrested? Because I
The
tried.
night you were with him. The night you were with him. That night. That's the night.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, I tried. He was not having a good night that night.
What happened that night, Hud? What happened that night?
We went back to the trap with the producer / director and the producer's friend or driver or whatever, and we bought like 30 bottles of vodka. They bought 30 bottles of vodka and like whiskey or something, and then I left because I had something to do. But Andy gave me this cool hat and a nice shirt. I said, "Can I borrow this?" He said, "No, you're gonna have it." He was like, "No, you're gonna have it." I was like, "Awesome," but I don't know what happened after that. I left.
Oh my gosh. Wow. All right.
But
Yeah.
You tell me what happened, though. What happened?
Well, I mean, here's his other roommate, Jesse. Jesse, HUD was there that night.
Hey, what's up? How's everyone doing?
What's up, Jesse?
We're
Not too
doing
much, man.
We're doing good. We're focusing on getting Andy out of jail right now, right, Jesse? Is that the main purpose? Are you putting together that GoFundMe for his
Yeah,
bail?
I'm gonna have that up this afternoon. Are we still going out to that lunch date though?
Yeah, we'll go to lunch. But first,
Nice. What's been going on the show?
so we had the most famous female sports agent, Rachel Luba. We had a specialist in incarcerated parents. So I found out that I shouldn't really attach myself that much to the situation. Like I should separate myself a little bit, because once you start like thinking, about bail and calls and visiting, the visiting hours are only between 11 and 1. I thought that was kind of weird.
If someone I knew was in jail, I'd do anything I could for him. And I'm doing everything I can for Andy, and I have his back. So hopefully we'll have this resolved soon. I heard someone's trying to bail him out now, but if not, we're getting other things together. We're still waiting to hear word back. I think he went to the hospital, maybe. I'm not sure.
All
But,
right.
jail's not a good place for anybody. I don't wish that upon anybody. But Andy might like it because there's a lot of boys there.
Yeah, I mean, if there's good-looking
Queen of the
guys there,
Desert.
but I doubt there's a lot of good-looking guys there.
Really? I've been to jail before, so I'm not bad. Yeah. Have you been to jail before? Have you gotten a ticket?
Yeah, I have. I was in jail for a couple hours one time.
We're all a bunch of gangsters over here. See?
Yeah.
We all done time. It'll be all right.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Well, I am concerned, but I
Yeah.
think he is in a better place now, because at least he can't do anything
jail's
bad.
worse than being free. Jail is worse than here. That's why it's jail.
No, I don't
Or-
think it's worse. I don't think it's worse, because it's
You
more
think it's
dangerous
better to be in jail.
for him. Yes.
They don't treat you nice in jail. You have no family or friends. You automatically have to join a gang if you're in general population, kind of by your race. But he's like a celebrity or high profile people. They're by themselves. And they walk around with a bunch of guards. It's probably pretty lonely.
All right. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I just think that he's better off there because it's safe. He gets his meals paid for. He's not with any weirdos.
Is this the relationship you want? Andy in jail?
It was better than him flirting with the waitress in front of me, making me pay for everything, calling me with an $87 bill at Cantor's. I hated that.
That's what Andy usually does, though. So, I mean, pretty much everybody knows. Everyone could be a little bit better to each other, I guess. But, it's codependent, I think. You both keep coming back and have the same problem, and then you both go back, the same thing happens, and you go back, the same thing happens. You need to have a change, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point.
If he hit Lucas, if that happened or whatever, maybe he hit him so hard he won't come back for a while. Wouldn't that be nice? And then he was at the after hours and the bar last night. People saw him, and he was getting handcuffed at 4 a.m. down at this after hours in Santa Monica. Everyone was texting me. My friends run the place. So he wasn't that hurt. Andy has a broken foot and a broken hand. I doubt he was beating up on the guy that's 24 years old, good shape. Lucas did not act hurt. He had a little cut in his head. We don't know how he got it. Could have been when he was hitting Bobby, throwing him out right before that. We don't know. But Andy's 55 and he has a broken hand. And Lucas went out partying all night. So I don't think he really hurt him. I think this was a play to get at him. And he doesn't deserve this.
All right.
I'm pretty sure. I didn't see the other fight, but I'm pretty sure Lucas punched someone in the face and cut his eye maybe 15 minutes before that. I don't know because I didn't see that part either. But it's come on. Andy needs to be around better friends. You're a good friend. He talks about you a lot. He's happy with you. He tells everybody how you beat the chess champion, and he likes spending time with you. But
he runs away, Jesse. He runs away. He always runs. Every time he's with me, he runs away.
Why do you think he runs away?
Because he doesn't want to be trapped, and I don't want him. It's scary.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I wanted just to defend Andy, because what I would say is, like, just to be fair about it, you did look for a cage to put him in, and you like that he's in jail. That's kind of trapped feeling, you know?
Yeah. Well, when he's
I
not in
consider
the
you a
cage.
good friend, Elise, because you talk to me sometimes, and I talk to you about personal stuff. It means a lot to have a friend to talk to. I feel like you understand, and I just want to be as honest as I can with you about the situation. I mean, I'm not with anyone right now because I'm not in a place where I want a relationship. I'm focusing on work and moving, stuff like that. If it happens, you know, I'll let it happen, but I'm not going to force anything. So things shouldn't be forced, I feel.
Yeah. I'm not going to force anything. I think I was trying to force things before, but now I realize that did not work. And I'm just going to go with the flow, and I'm not going to.
Have you ever played Andy a game of chess? Because he talks about it all the time. It's like, you guys just go out to eat all the time. Like, so maybe like doing other activities now everything's opened up.
No, we do. We went to the beach. We walked around. See, he can't walk, so that's tough.
Yeah, you need a wheelchair and push him though. He's into that.
Yeah, he can't walk right now. So that, you know, you can't really go to the park or the beach when somebody can't walk. There's a lot of bad things happening, Jesse. I don't even think you realize it. I think
what are some of the bad things I might not realize? So I'm surrounded by it a lot, so I get a good sense of what's happening, but I'm sure there's things I don't know.
so when you got that hostel, he had
No,
11
he had
11 people in it. He had 11
Actually not a hostel. It's a monthly stay hotel by the Grove that I put on my card for 3 days in a row for him. And he kept not going, and he kept charging me. Paid for that, don't worry. Went down there, paid another day. Gave him the keys, which I owe money for because he never returned. And I guess I heard the next morning, like at 4 a.m, he told me something like they kicked him out and he's not allowed back, which I didn't know until that point. So I'm going down there today to see, you know, try to fix it basically, or what I owe them, or Andy might be banned from there. I don't know. He might have this TV show thing coming up if he gets out, like some RV, like, I don't know, but who knows?
Yeah.
I hope he's safe, and I hope he's not in jail ever, and that he's around his family and his friends, ones that care about him. That's what he needs.
That would be good. I agree with you, Jesse. That's what he needs. Sigmund, what happened? I tried to get you on with Rachel Luba.
We had everything all set up, except that on the far left at the bottom, it says mute. And what Wappy told me was that when you go on this thing, StreamYard, that you have to unmute it. In other words, some things are preset to be muted. And so now we're on. What do you want to? Okay, I have a comment about Rachel. She said something about a relationship, a person, an association that she had that took 11 years later until it really matured. I don't know, remember the details, but that's how long ago I met Wappy. We met under the most wonderful circumstances in Syracuse, New York. I'm from New Jersey originally. And then, well, there's in-between story, but here it is in December, 11 years later, and we've made 6 albums and skits, and we get along so well. It's pretty cool.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
That you found such a great collaborator.
And it can be a man too. Oh, we joke about that stuff, you know, just for fun. What I mean is I'm still looking for, well, I think I know which girl it is now. She's a DJ on college radio. I can tell you that much. Because she's like this genius. She says, I have 5,000 songs on my phone. And I thought, well, who can do that? And she's been a DJ since she was 13. I mean, for fun, as a hobby. And she has the most unique style on radio. She has more confidence and has smoother style than the others, but she does a different genre. Wow, free plug here. She does a different genre every week, like psychedelic rock, indie folk, hard rock, punk. And I've listened to 5 weeks so far, and we're very connected because we send messages back and forth about, well, for example, on KCSN, they just started this weeknights at 10. Jim Nelson the part of it it's called Advanced Music History. And so they'll tell everybody that's the birthday. Like Todd Rundgren was the first night I heard. I thought, why are they playing Hello, It's Me, It's Been a Long, Long While? That's such a wonderful, unique song. And it's because it was his birthday, 74. So everybody should do this. KCSN 88.5 at 10 p.m. weeknights, which is up against Coast to Coast AM and Red Eye Radio, but I'm kind of burned out on both those now. The whole political thing is all done and in the trash can now. And as far as Red Eye Radio, they're pretty good, though. That's syndicated on ABC. And these two guys, Eric Harley and Gary McNamara, they're really fun to listen to. They cover politics and everything, but they're easygoing nighttime entertainment. And I'll let you react to that.
So everything's going very well.
But I think okay. Here's what I want to say. I realize I'm a much better nighttime singer than a daytime singer. I'm more of a night. Because then we tend to sing more at night. Who knows? But this morning, as we're rehearsing, like Wappy was for his song and I've been for this song, it doesn't come out right the first time when you sing. You know, it's kind of flat and like, but you know that you do it a couple of times. And my voice right now is pretty strong and clear. You know, I feel it's pretty good. And the song by Eric Burden.
I'm getting a call, Sig. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, Lisa, it's Gonzo.
Hey, Gonzo.
Hey, is Sigmund gonna perform now?
I think so. I think I think he is gonna sing. Sigmund, are you gonna perform? Because Gonzo's asking for you.
It's already,
All right, it's already Gonzo. Get ready.
I have to just turn on your phone.
All right.
Okay, you ready? Wait, there's an ad set for a 5-second ad first. You know about that. There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Now the only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase and a trunk. And the only time he is satisfied is when he's on a drunk. That's as far as I'm going to sing.
Andy, what's going on here?
Bunch of things.
Yeah.
And it's all south.
It's all south? It's all bad?
I'm going south.
No. What do you mean? Explain. You always explain yourself.
I'm evicted. I could be out today.
Oh, evicted?
Is it because of the video of the house and people saw knives in the wall?
You know what? There's 7 charges, so you know what? Pick one.
Damn.
What?
Charges?
Wait, so have you been paying the rent?
No, that's one charge.
I think that's the main one.
Okay.
So are you packing your stuff up? Are you going to Elisa's tonight?
Oh, you want me to? I knew it. Are you trying? Look, she every day she begs me to come over there.
Then what's the problem?
Can I tell you something, though? Can I tell you something?
Yes.
This is between me and you. And by the way, not really going to be between me and you because she's going to hear it. But when I go to her house and sleep over there, which she begs me to do every day, I feel more trapped there than I do in my own trap house.
Why do you feel so trapped, though? She's beautiful. She's hot.
Oh, really? That will make you not feel because she won't let me leave.
Yeah.
Tells me what I need to do.
You don't seem that trappable to me, Andy. Okay, first of all,
I'm not.
That's because he doesn't
I
go
fucking
there.
run out of her apartment and do an hour and a half walk home.
Yeah, I actually understand what he's talking about. I mean, she would probably want to be a little controlling of what she wants Andy to do and be. And Andy's Andy.
But Andy's not controllable.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just
Don't
trying to
control me, you fucking bitch.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll stick around.
Have you hosed her?
Nope.
No. What?
No.
What's the point
Don't
then?
want to. She said, we're going to wait till we get married. And I'm like, that's totally fine with me. And last week, she's like, actually, we can actually fuck. Let's just do it. And I'm like, guess what? You can wait till we're married.
What?
That's a good power
What are you
move.
trying to
This
prove?
girl likes that. You hear?
That is a power move.
But what were you trying to prove?
No, I'm trying to prove anything. You know what I'm trying to prove? That I don't need her.
If you had given it to her, she might become addicted to it. It might completely change the power dynamic.
It is like 9 inches.
No, you got it exactly backwards. If I fuck her, I'm going to be the one that's addicted to her.
Yeah.
Boy.
You seem a little too self-aware
Sounds a little
there.
optimistic on my part.
No, it's really true.
So, are you going to be homeless? Are you going to be homeless?
No, I can always go to my girl.
The girl named Elisa?
Yep. But I'd rather be homeless than be with her. Don't, you know what? Edit that out. Edit that out.
What is it that keeps you with Elisa? There's got to be something you really like about her.
Everything. She's fucking hot as fuck.
Yeah.
She's smart.
She's
smart.
funny.
Funny.
Is she fun?
Yeah. Fun.
She seems like she'd be
literally,
fun.
You know what? I think her and I are on the spectrum right where we're right there. We're like on the same spectrum. I don't know how and why we get along, but we just do.
Then what's the problem, Andy?
I told you I don't want to get addicted.
Commitment.
I really don't. It would be
see.
a nightmare for me.
Because it seemed like you were suggesting that she traps you, but I think actually you are untrappable. You are you are commitment.
No, she
phobe.
does trap me, but I run.
She calls me Goliath and I wear the David mask. I guess those stones are coming too fast for her now. You know I'd like to believe this nervousness will pass. All the stones that are thrown are building up a wall. I have become cumbersome to this world. I have become cumbersome to my girl. I'd like to believe we can reconcile the past, resurrect those bridges with the ancient plans. My old stone face can't seem to break her down. She remembers bridges burned to the ground. I have become cumbersome to this world. I have become cumbersome to my girl. I have become cumbersome to this world. I have become cumbersome to my girl.
Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so this is interesting, Charmin. So Charmin, Trumpster Bob has some kind of challenge for us. I'm just really curious.
Not if it's a butthole challenge.
Well, I don't know what kind of challenge it's going to be. Let's find out. Bob, what's going on? What's this challenge that you speak of that you want to tell me and Charmin?
Well, you're both kind of close. You're both kind of close. Only I'm not involved.
What?
Hold on a second. Okay, so I come up with this idea. It's a whole brand new kind of butthole challenge. I want to challenge. Hold on a second. She won't quit calling me.
Is that your woman?
Let me tell her to stop. She doesn't understand. It messes up my audio. So, what I want to do, friend, to the very first ever Trumpster Bob female butthole challenge.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that would be Sugar and Charmin and Elisa Jordan battling against each other.
And what are we going to do to battle each other?
Well, you got to, come on a private live stream. People got to pay Elisa Jordana $100 a pop to get in there to see it. And y'all simply bend over and spread them butt cheeks. Huh?
You think we're going to spread our butt cheeks on camera for $100 a pop?
Yeah.
Bob, you have lost your ever-loving mind.
Well, how much you want to charge? That's between y'all.
There's not enough money on the planet. That's what you don't understand. You think women will just do stuff for money. You don't get it. At some point in time, there's not enough money.
Well, okay, you can forgive your money up. It's a matter of pride.
We don't respond to money. You think we're just interested in money, but that's not the gig. That's not.
You're scared. So you're scared of the challenge, then, right?
I'm not remotely interested in the challenge, and I find you a challenge because you think you're so focused on buttholes and money, you have forgotten that there's a whole other world out there.
Oh my goodness! I never thought I'd see a female scared of that challenge. Coach Love, all right. Oh my God, we got Coach Love up here.
Butthole challenge. Are you interested in streaming up and exposing your deepest, darkest hole for?
Yeah, that way men can, the rich guys out there could take a peek and say, yeah, definitely. You know what I mean?
I'm just curious. Is that if that's something that he would want his daughter to do or his mother to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good question. Good question.
Absolutely want them.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. I wouldn't have a problem with anybody doing it.
Right, he doesn't care.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if it's his wife.
Like me, for example, Dr. Love. Okay, the question was brought up to me one time. Bob, it seems like there's a big problem with these men.
What?
Molesting these younger men in our schools.
Mm-hmm.
Do about something like that. And my answer was, I came up with the idea of a butthole challenge. That way, before you allow a guy to be a priest in a church, he can't have a blowed out booty hole. That would probably lessen those crimes by about 80% in my mind. So that's
so is that something you want to participate in? Do you want to show your butthole off?
He does. That's the thing. He does. He wants to show his butthole. He wants to. He loves buttholes.
Yeah.
So he's looking for some playmates. Well, I don't think he has any here, but maybe he could find some other friends.
He definitely wants us to be his playmates for sure. And he's disappointed every time he tries. He comes with a different pitch every week. Anything he can do to get near, our private parts. He's very excited about it.
You know what? I am sure there are some people somewhere in the world that wants to play with Bob, just not here.
Well,
I can't imagine
that. He has a woman in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think he has a GoFundMe because he's trying to get the money together so he can go visit her. This is a worthy cause. We should ship Bob to Africa.
You know what? I would rather work on finding Sigmund a girlfriend. I think Leaf said he wants us to help Sigmund find a girlfriend. I think that's a worthy cause.
Maybe.
I like that one.
I think.
Bob, did you hear that?
Find Sigmund a girlfriend.
Well, here's the deal that I think, again, Coach Love is missing out on. And it's not a matter of me wanting to see other men's buttholes or women's buttholes for that matter. It's just a matter of pride. Either you got it, you still got it, or you lost it a long time ago.
I don't know if maybe your pride is attached to your butthole, and thanks for sharing that. But for me, I am comfortable without that attachment.
He's totally obsessed with buttholes. Okay, so let's see. So now what we're going to do, I think the wrap-up show is coming. What did you think of today's interviews with Fallon and Rachel? Any thoughts?
I loved it. I wanted to ask Rachel about her, volunteer work and how she's lifting up other women, in this field, because, she's young and, she's one of the first. And so we got to make the second, the third, the fourth, we got to make it very common for women to be in this field. So I wonder how she's approaching that. So we'll see if we can get her on again or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can reach out to her. I would like people to reach out to her to get to know her, and just so she's happy that she came on today. I just want everybody to be happy to be involved.
She's very smart.
Yeah, she's very like well-spoken and smart. And she, at 18, she knew that she wanted to get into that unusual business. I mean, I never would have thought of that, to be a sports agent.
Me either. And then I really like, you know what? God bless us. Having Fallon on today, the day where your, the love of your life is locked up. I mean, that's amazing.
It was amazing. And that just makes me think that this is all almost like predetermined or planned out, or someone is helping us. Because we do have a lot of help here. I always think that. I always think, wow, I have so much help here. It's like unbelievable. I have all these people, like for instance, Roy, he actually is connecting me to a drug and alcohol counselor, and that person's going to be booked. So hopefully by the time Andy gets out of jail, we'll have a drug and alcohol counselor. Is that right, Roy?
Yes. Happy birthday, Elisa.
Thank you.
Comments for the show. One is, with Andy, with addiction, people with addiction, they hit rock bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
They go to jail, like Andy, or the worst, they eventually die.
Right.
And so Andy needs help. There are people that can be sober, but then also they're not in recovery. And Andy's both. He's not sober and he's not in recovery. And so when you guys talk about your relationship with, I think you guys have a lot of chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you're not really that compatible.
Yeah, we're not compatible, but like our chemistry is weird because it's not like, I don't even know what kind of chemistry it is. It's like something, but it's not typical chemistry. It's something that's unique.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So, we're in I hopefully Dr. Herring can be on the show at some point, but we have a treatment center, a high-end treatment center in Media, PA, and also Center City. And, at some point, maybe we'll be able to help Andy. In prison, we have this talk so that in prison, he's, when you're in prison, in your isolation, he's thinking about a lot of stuff. He's thinking a lot of stuff about you, about his future, about his current situation. And so this is kind of like, the truth telling you, So
I think I can see the shirt.
Well, I have a really weird, oh my God, I have a really weird caller. Wait, Kermit and Friends.
Hey, what up? This Jamal, coach for LA County Jail. I'm here with your fiance, Andy Dick. He want to talk to you, girl.
All right, I'll talk to him.
Hey, baby.
Andy?
Hey, baby. How are you? I'm so sorry, baby.
Oh my God, thanks for calling. I'm shocked you called.
I was speaking to you the other day, and I said, hey, buddy, how are you?
Oh my gosh, you don't sound too good, Andy.
I know, and the doctor, whatever the fuck his name is, said I'm not in recovery, but I am. I'm recovering from last night's cocaine binge.
All right, Andy, just get home, okay? Everybody just get home.
I'm just kidding, Elisa. It's hot. It's hot Isaac.
Oh, hey, Hud. Oh, okay. That really did sound like Andy. You fooled me. You did fool me. You're a funny guy. All right, thanks, Hud. You're the best. Oh my gosh.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop back out. All right, I'm gonna hop back out. Please put me out one more time. I want to say one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
No. When I get on the podcast,
Okay. That's Hud. See, Hud is very enthusiastic. That's something I like about him. But so Roy, we're gonna help.
Yeah.
We're gonna help him. We're gonna help him. We're gonna do our best. I'm just gonna step back right now. I'm just concentrating on my own things. I think Kermit and Friends. We're booking guests for Kermit and Friends. We're getting musicians. I mean, look how great this Wappy guy is, and we got.
Yeah, he is great. I love him. Yeah.
Yeah, we have all these great guests now, and that's what we do. We try to make Kermit and Friends the best that it could possibly be, right, Hud? Can't hear you at all. You're very quiet. Hud, I can't hear you. Oh my God, that's Hud. But anyway, we're trying to make Kermit and Friends the best that it could possibly be. We're working hard over here. We're booking guests. We're doing interviews. We're trying to help people, but not that hard. I'm not going to be trying that hard. I'm just going to hope for the best. That's what I'm doing at this point, Charmin. I'm just hoping for the best.
I don't blame you. I've tried to help people before, and it's just cost me and burned me in the long run. And I wouldn't want to be in jail right now. I don't want Andy to be in jail right now. I wouldn't bail him out. I do think that solitary confinement is going to bring up a lot of things for him to think about.
Yeah.
I think God has him exactly where God wants him. I think it is incredibly unique that the guest that you got today, right?
Yeah.
Fallon was perfect timing. Everything happens for a reason. I think God brought us all together, and all these doctors and professionals have tried with Andy and failed. And our trial is our greatest testimony. And I think God wants Andy's testimony, and he's going to work a miracle in his life. I think we're all going to get to see it here on Kermit and Friends.
I really, really hope so.
I hope to see it by your birthday on Wednesday. And I want you to remember what you do on your birthday, you do all year long. So make it fun, have a good time, make it memorable. And if Andy shows up at your party and there is chaos, take a bunch of deep breaths, because this is a whole year worth of events that is going to be living your life for you because God's involvement.
I agree with that. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, Elisa, it's Gonzo. We're almost 2 hours into the show, and there hasn't been one Johnny B appearance or mention or anything. Are you gonna have him on?
Let me ask his daughter, Lori. Lori, Johnny B is missing. People are upset.
I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. So Lori, what is happening on the wrap-up show? You guys going to be talking about what happened today?
Eric and I are going to do our own show in place of the wrap-up show.
Wow, Eric Riggs?
Yes. We've been trying to get it going for the last few days, and he keeps going back and forth on me, and I'm hoping he's not going to bail on me last minute like he did last night.
Wow, that's great. I'm so happy to hear that. That's great. Okay, so hopefully everybody from here, like Sigmund and Wappy and Roy and
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, so hopefully all these people will join you on your wrap-up show and on your new show with Eric Riggs. Wow, I can't believe it. I cannot believe that. That is great. That is so great. Does that show start right now?
It should be starting any minute now. I'm waiting for Eric to join me in my studio. I sent him the link right when he asked for it, so I don't know.
All right, Eric. I hope you show up for the show. What's the show called?
The Owl's Nest, and this episode is Eric and Friends.
Eric and Friends. Isn't that something? All right, it's Eric and Friends. I gotta tell you, I'm excited. I'm excited for Eric and Friends. That's what I want. I want everybody to have a show based off Kermit and Friends, and bring the viewers to you. Enjoy that. That's gonna be fun, right, Johnny?
Yep. I tried to do a little bit of a pre-show today.
How did that go?
With me and Eric, and I was trying to get Charmin in there, and that's why I called you to see if you wanted to come and give us a little idea what your show was going to be about today.
Well, now you can go to Lori's show and you can talk about Rachel Luba. You could talk about Fallon. You could talk about Andy being in jail. The musical guests that we had on today. Coach Love has been booking unbelievable people. We have Heavy here.
I was in the audience for some of her show that she had on YouTube yesterday. I didn't stay very long. 3 women on there talking about stuff, and I just said hello.
Okay, well, I have the link here if people want to be on this other after show. If you want to be on the after show, you can be with Lori and all the other Kermit and Friends people. And that's a great thing because, I went into Coach Love's show the other day and she had a good audience and people were interacting with her. And it was just wonderful. And that's really what I want to go on here. Like, we have new guests all the time coming in, like Rachel and Fallon. But then we have our regulars that have their own shows and they have their own audience and they'll be monetized. And it's a whole community here. And that's something that I really love. And I mean, look, we even have Andy's people here from his apartment. I mean, how great is that?
The number of people, hey, what's up?
Look at Jesse here. We have Heavy.
I'm obviously the best looking person there. Who are these guys?
Yeah, see, he's good looking. We have Heavy. He's good looking.
Yeah.
HUD eyes. I mean, they're all models here. And they're
for goddamn dumpy looking motherfuckers.
I could be mad. I could be a model if they were selling geriatric wear, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice though. It's nice to have everybody involved. And, we all are here just to entertain everybody and just also to have, fun and start our own shows like Jesse here. Jesse, are you joining Lori's wrap-up show or you have other things going on?
Probably not. I want to announce a project that I'm working on too. I have a couple small videos that are going to be out next month. Starting to shoot a little bit of porn just for fun, actually. So the name will be G Rider, and I'll send some links up for you guys.
Like G-string rider.
Wow. Okay, that's a new thing that I didn't know about.
It is. It's also, I'm still looking for a date for your birthday party, and you were going to try to hook me up with a girl, maybe Japanese. We talked about that. You can give out my number to your friends, so we can still do that, okay?
I'm her
I
date
have to
for
go,
her birthday.
and he can come too. I'm your date for your birthday.
Oh yeah, I do need a date. Okay, that guy could be my date. That's
Do
fine.
that,
Okay.
Elvis.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
out.
halfway through, we'll
Happy
switch.
birthday,
Just for
Elisa.
fun.
Happy birthday.
Bye.
Wow. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. There's porn happening. Okay, John, do you have a song, sweetheart?
Lori's being funny. Why'd you leave the door open?
I don't know.
Well, I didn't not like a 50 birthday song to sing to you in particular, but I was going to do a little Ronnie Millsap.
All right, sounds good, John. Sounds great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Enjoy John Bolton singing, and please join Kermit. Please join Lori and Eric on the wrap-up show. How great is that, Lori and Eric?
Don't forget to watch us daily on the Man Cave Live too. Chair out of the way. I segment. Oh, yeah, baby. Follow my heart. Call on the memories. Hear the dark. We'll let the magic take us away. Back to the feelings we shared when they played in the still
oh,
He's got the spirit.
so real, so right, lost in the 50s tonight. These precious hours, you can't survive.
I don't know this song. I can't sing this. I'll just
But
go along.
love's all that matters while the past is alive.
I'll harmonize.
Now and for always, till time disappears.
Yeah, that's got to be a made-up name.
We'll hold each other.
SoundCloud, yeah. It's
whenever we
our music channel, Wappy and I. It's soundcloud.com/Wappy
in
like
the
Happy.
still of the
Wappy
night.
and Sigmund.
Hold me, darling. Come on, Sigmund. Hold me tight.
I don't know what song is this.
Whoa,
whoa! You know, that's like Paul Anka would sing like
so
that.
real.
Sounds like a Paul Anka song.
So right. Lost in the 50s tonight.
Or like so Turn my mic on now, by the way. It was turned off before. Everything was wrong. It was on mute, and then it turned to hardware not connected. Yes, oh, it's the wall. It's written on the wall. There's some cool stuff.
So right.
And one took Karina.
So real, so right.
Why can't we do Old Lang Syne or something? Or those Star Spangled Banner?
Are you even hearing me?
What song is it? Hey, what song is it?
So right.
How about Someone I'll Lean? I can sing anything basically. It's just mimicry. My favorite thing now is Rihanna's song called Stay. Well, I've always loved that song. It's just so full of emotion.
Join us at the Man Cave Live on YouNow and our show on YouTube. Nice to see you, Sigmund.
Yeah, not quite like that.
Nice to see you, Sigmund. How are you, buddy?
Really good. You know, I love singing these high notes and like we did Neil Young last week. Oh man, look at my life. I'm alive. It starts out low and then he goes, yeah, high. And I just learned this about the Animals song. When I was doing House of Rice, it starts really high. The middle words of the same line are medium, and then the last notes are low. I mean, I've been doing it just by memory, but I didn't realize that's what it was doing mechanically.
That's a good
and
song.
Now that my mic is on, hey, do you want to do a duet on House of the Rising Sun? You probably know the words, mostly.
I don't have quite the note for that one, but I do it. I've done it.
Okay,
if there is a house in New Orleans, they call the rising sun.
I don't even need Eric in the background. Ready? There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun. It's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. It's easier with the music behind you. My mother.
Yeah, that's the hard notes to hit.
Sticks, you know. Okay, can you try it now? She sewed my new blue jeans. My father was a gambling man down in New Orleans. Wow. See what I mean? It starts really high. It's like you're skiing down a mountain.
We'd have to rehearse that one to make that one work somewhere along the line.
Taylor. And it goes right back up. She sewed my new blue jeans. And then the same in parallel. My father was same. I sound a little bit weak and like thin voice there. I would like to try to do that in a deeper voice, but I guess I'm not quite there yet. Oh, at the beginning though, there is a house. You know, they get to hit your low C there, or somewhere down there. There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy, and God, I know I'm one.